My name is Jan-Jan. Better? And today I'd like to grab this 5 minutes just to talk to you about redux without boilerplate. This is the universal data flowgram we all know and love, and it's part of why most of us are into redux and React. And the React part, the view is, that's pretty well down, right? With a little bit of high-order components and some pure render props, it's pure functions all the way down. Easy to test, easy to reason about, easy to think about. But on the Redux side, there's a smell, right? And it stinks. It's the boilerplate, right? If you go anything over a tiny project, you start chowing into your time, doing boilerplate, it's eating your time. And I'm one of those people who think the best code is no code. So if we think of a simple HTTP request, we end up with 6 pieces of boilerplate. You've got your constants, your get user request, get user access, success, failure. I mean, once you started doing more complex error handling on this, you end up with way too much. Of course, we all love the reducers, no need to go there, it's pure business logic. Woo! So to solve this problem, what we used was Redux Observable. So Redux Observable is based on RxJS. So the key thing here for us is it takes an action that we dispatched and puts it into a stream. So now we have the stream on which we can listen for actions, right? And an epic is just the Redux Observable primitive. And all it does is it listens to a stream and it gives you another stream back. So it's just a way of maintaining the stream. So for instance, you can listen for a certain action type, handle your side effects, right? And potentially insert or dispatch a new action. Right? I'll show you now how this helps us. So we're going to create one epic to rule them all. Let's call it the API epic. It's just for something like HTTP. So the only constant that you will have, the type, is type API. Right? When you dispatch that, you will say, in our case, just to stick with our previous example, is get user, right? With a little bit of config and a little bit of data load on that. Your epic now listens to your action stream, right? As soon as it pays attention to an API type, it grabs it. It says, okay, based on API, so I'm going to take that, transform it just by adding a underscore request to it, and create a type for me of get user request with data. Inject it back in the stream, send off an HTTP request, response gets back, and it either fires off another one of get user success or get user failure. So all the normal reducers you'll be writing, you can still write them. They still look exactly the same. But now we just have that single API type, and every other type gets auto-created by the epic. So one constant's all you have to find. So if we go back to our graph, we have one constant, one action type defined, and one epic. And that's it. The rest of Redux is now just reducers. I'm sure that was pretty quick, so I'm going to have some more time, which is great. So this is what your new graph becomes then. That's my email address. I don't have a library out yet, so if you do want the code, whatever, please bug me. I'm happy to share it with you. There will be one forthcoming. And since we have more time, it also makes a couple of other things easy for us. So if you think about your tree in React, right? We stop polluting it with the amount of functions that we have hanging off it, right? Now there's only one hanging off it. That's our API function, right? Everything just calls that and you just put a config on it, right? So you can take it further. Your epic is aware of your store, right? So if you've got a function that says, okay, I'm using JWT to do my authentication, right? As soon as you pop through the API call, your epic just looks in your store and says, is there a token? Oh, yes, there is a token. Cool. I'll attach it to this, inject it, and send it off. Right? You don't have to do it in the rest of your code. It all gets handled over there. You can also do fancier error handling, right? Because you just got the one epic that you've got defined, and it can listen to your codes coming back. So if you get a 401 response, it can inject your get user failure, and it can inject an unauthorized. So you can handle both of those. And it just gives you a richer form of handling your feedback and errors, and you only have the one point to debug. that's me. Thank you very much.